Hi guys, I'm Sarah, the Real Simple Mama, and I'm going to do a review video of this amazing little planter called the Vertplanter, how I'm going to set it up, and some initial thoughts about the product. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here. So first of all, thank you to Vertplanter for reaching out to me on my YouTube channel. Of course, I've been doing chicken, like backyard chicken content for 6 years, but one of my greatest hobbies and passions is plants, indoor plants, house plants, outdoor plants, orchids, all kinds of things. And so when I was contacted by Vertplanter and they gave me this product for free to test out, of course I said yes, that I want to do this. But you can also be sure that I'm going to give you an honest review, things that I like, didn't like, initial thoughts, and then you're going to see me actually set this guy up. So this is a beautiful piece. This is the second rendition of the Vertplanter. It is a terracotta vase, and then it comes with this base. Now I am showing you the second rendition or the second edition of the Vertplanter. You can see my affiliate link and the product link in the video description, so you can go click on it and get all of the details about the stats. But if you look at the size of my hand, it's a little less than a foot tall. And this second rendition can come with a lid or without. So the product that I got is the one that comes without a lid. The concept of this product is really, really interesting. So it uses terracotta, which I also have on my fig tree right here, the notorious FIG. That's an old terracotta pot. Terracotta is beautiful because it is a natural material, right? And it's also a little bit breathable. So it lets nutrients go back and forth. It's really good for quicker draining plants like succulents because they're not gonna sit in the wet. It helps keep the moisture from just sitting there and being too big of a problem. So this is a really interesting concept. The way the Vertplanter works is this is the terracotta vase. Notice there's no drainage hole. It's literally just one solid piece. Okay, so how does this work with your plants? And then I'll show you, I mean, that's just the basic tray or base right there, right? Like the draining plate that's plastic. The way the Vertplanter is going to work is you plant things on the outside vertically. That's why it's called the Vertplanter. And you're going to have plants attached here on the outside. Now I've got some ideas on that. So before you think about like, what? I'll show you in just a moment. And the concept is that you put water on the inside of the planter. Now this tray is here, of course, if we fill the Vertplanter too full and too much of that water comes out, then you've got some protection there from for your table. But that the plants, as they're affixed onto the Vertplanter itself from the outside, they're able to get moisture from the inside of this planter as it's breathable, if that makes sense. So I've never seen anything like this. I think, first of all, first impressions, it's just a beautiful piece. I love terracotta and things like this. I like that it has the texture on it like this, which is actually, it serves a purpose here in just a minute. I'll show you for how I'm going to plant mine. So I think it's just a pretty piece. It's a nice concept. Again, I got the one without the lid. The lid could be a great idea. Maybe if you've got cats or kittens or young children who might try to put their hand in it and pull it over, but I didn't need that. The instructions so far in communication with the company that's all been a really good experience. So let me tell you a couple of things that I've noticed about the product, and then you're going to watch me put plants on this guy. So we're going to fill it with water here in a minute. I'll put water about a third of the way in, and that way you can see what it looks like as it changes. It is going to change color a little bit, I anticipate, as we see the water inside the Vertplanter itself. Now I will say, because I got the version of the Vertplanter that has no lid, it literally just came with these two pieces. These are my crystals right here. So it literally came with the tray that's plastic, and it came with the terracotta, the Vertplanter itself. That's it. So when it comes to you attaching plants to it, it's really cheap and easy to do so, but be aware it didn't come with anything else other than these two things and the instructions. So my first and really my only complaint so far being used to the product, it was shipped really well. Obviously there was no damage or anything. My only complaint so far is that the product doesn't come with any kind of ties or Velcro, or if there's any kind of like adhesive, like a plant safe glue. So as far as you vertically attaching a plant to it, you're kind of left to your own devices. Now you could use wire, you could use twine, you could use shoelaces, you could use all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to drop in my recommendation. This is what I use with my moss poles. It's a very cheap self-adhesive Velcro that comes with I don't even remember how many feet. I'll put this listing down in the video description as well. But this is really cheap. It's from Amazon. I use this on my moss poles with all my monstera and pothos and philodendron and everybody else who is like climbing. So I'm going to use this if I ever put a larger plant on here, like an orchid. This stuff, you don't want to put it like completely tight on your plant, but you just cut it to the size you need, wrap it around, and it sticks to itself. And we're back. So I'm experimenting with this while I'm showing you. I didn't want to be playing around and use the product before I got to show you, you know, just post unboxing and showing you what the product looks like right out of the box. So here we're going to do an experiment. So like I was talking about, I appreciate the good communication that I've had with my Vertplanter rep so far. So thank you guys for sending me like extra instructions and some extra suggestions. So I don't have a lot of like expensive specialty plants. I actually don't own any ferns right now. So I was thinking like, I really want to try this thing. It seems really cool. It's a really just nice looking piece that I want to have. Yes, I want to try it, but what the heck should I put on it? And one of the best beginner plants that you can put on the Vertplanter is chia seeds. And I will not lie to y'all, I am a kid of the 90s. I was born at the end of 83, but I never had like a chia pet. So I'm really, really excited about this. Now you're going to get to watch me do this, and it may be like a terrible fail that goes onto the internet. So don't laugh at me too hard. But what we're going to do is use the texture that is on the Vertplanter. I don't know if you can see, if you look at the sides of it, you can see how there are divots. Like it's not a completely flush and flat texture. I can see the terracotta is getting darker down here. Can y'all see? Like right around here. It's been about 5 minutes since I put the water in, and so now I'm starting to see a color change that it's going through the terracotta. So what I'm going to do is make a super awesome chia seed paste, and I'm just making up the dimensions here as far as the proportions and things. Oh, see how it's changing? You guys see on the planter how it's getting dark? That water is going to start coming through. So this is 3 tablespoons of just basic chia seeds. These are like food quality. Yes, I eat chia seeds all the time. I think they're really great. They have a lot of really good fiber, and they have protein. They're just awesome, but they're going to make a really cool just covering if I can get this to work. So what we're going to do is I've got half a cup of water left. I've got 3 tablespoons of chia seeds. And again, I made up these proportions. So when you're not holding a camera and recording for the internet, you can play around with the proportions and figure out and get a paste. Chia seeds, if you've never played around with them before, like in your kitchen, they will start to turn like a gel after a few minutes. So what I'm going to do is mix them quickly. And then I'm going to use either the spoon or honestly just my hands. And I'm going to smash this paste up on the planter. And then what I can do is use the water that's already in the Vertplanter, right? That's going to come through, and it's going to keep the chia seeds from completely drying out. Or as we go through this, because I'll do a follow-up video in about a month and show you what's going on, I can also mist it with RO water from the outside, right? If I feel like they're getting too dried out. But the goal is that I'm going to set these up and baby them for a little while, but then hopefully I'll have this beautiful piece, this nice conversation piece out on our dining room table, which is like, you know, the center for our family, right? And then it'll also be something that we can enjoy, we can look at, it's cleaning the air. And then, you know, like I said, if you're planting something edible like chia plants, then eventually we might be able to pop them off and eat them too. So everybody cross your fingers. I'm going to shut the video off while I make my paste and I try to stick it on there, and I will show you what it looks like here in just a minute. And we're back. Okay, so this is called Nobody Judge Me because I'm just a beginner, like chia seed potter. But this is what we are left with. Now I focused most of my chia seed paste on the bottom half because I know that that is the part that's always going to have water in it with my Vertplanter as it starts to breathe. And I will say that I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty impressed with myself. The proportions that I had of about 3 tablespoons of chia seeds to about a half cup of water, that was pretty accurate. And so I used the texturing and those little divots that are on the Vertplanter, and I just shoved that paste on there. If you are gonna do chia seeds like me, I do say that you wanna mix it and make it pretty quickly and slap that stuff up there because it does turn into a really thick gel pretty quickly. And side note, that's what it does in your intestines when you eat it, so hooray. But anyway, so I don't have any water leaking out of the Vertplanter. Again, we put a 1.5 cups in there, that's 12 ounces of water. We put a 1.5 cups in there And I feel like the water that was dripping in there is because of me. As you can see, it was a little bit like, you know, crafty time with a toddler, me slapping this chia seed stuff on here. So I'm going to do a video where right now, where are we at? We're at the end of April 2023. So I'm going to do another video by the end of May 2023 to show you what happens with this guy. I am going to make sure that I'm checking the water every couple of days as it evaporates out to make sure that the Vertplanter doesn't completely dry up. But they are getting ready for their Kickstarter campaign as they release this Vertplanter 2 at the beginning of May 2023. So congratulations to you guys. I hope that everybody has fun with this. I think it's just a really pretty piece. As I get more confident with this guy, I would love to have one that's got like orchids mounted on it vertically, or like I said, ferns. There's a whole bunch of different plants. The instructions that they send with it do include other planty ideas and lots of photos of how you could use it. But ultimately, it's just a pretty piece. I like using material like terracotta. I appreciate that I was getting contacted, and I love trying new things for my plants. So let me know down in the comments what you think about it. And like I said, I will show you a follow-up video by the end of May 2023 with my honest opinion once I've gotten to play around with this guy and my little chia seeds for about a month. Thanks so much for watching.